Hello everyone, we are going to start a new lecture on arrays in a programming language. If you want to store one data element in a container, then a variable should be declared. And if you want to keep more than one element in a memory, then arrays is an alternative. So arrays is what? Arrays is a container that can contain more than one element at a time into the memory, while a variable, a simple variable, can contain only one value at a time. If we want to declare a variable into memory, then we have to firstly we have to declare that variable. Then we have to initialize the variable, and finally we have to use that specific variable, use the variable. In the same way, variable. In the same way, we have to do these three elements for arrays. So we have to declare the array, and then we have to initialize the array, and finally we have to use the array. So declare the variable, initialize the variable, use the variable, or declare the array, initialize the array, or use the array. So these are the three elements that we should have into a program. So what is the difference between the array and the variable? We are just going to demonstrate it by using a simple example. Suppose we want to keep the height of a student in a variable. So we are going to declare a variable height. Now we want to initialize the value to the height 5.25. So the value 5.25 will be stored into the variable height, and in the line number one, a variable height is declared with the data type float. And if we want to print the value of height, so we can use the cout function. So cout height and L, then the value will be printed on the screen. Or we can use any formula for the variable height. Suppose I want to subtract 5.2, sorry, we want to subtract variable x, uh, variable height, sorry, and 0.25. What is the value 0.25? Suppose this height was taken when the student wear a heel of 0.25 inch. So if we want to take the height without heel, so we have to write down a formula: height is equal to height minus 0.25. So we can subtract or add any number into the variable. In the same way, we first have to declare the array, then we have to initialize the array, then we can use the array by any of the formula. So we have to demonstrate this: how can we declare the array, how can we use the array, how can we initialize the array later on in this presentation. But we have to first define the few elements for arrays. So arrays are the containers. Arrays are containers that can hold more than one value in a memory. More than one value in a memory at a time. Because we can store the more than one value in the variable height. But if I store the height of second student into the variable height, then the height of first student was removed from that place, and the new value will be assigned to the same variable. So at one time, we have one value of height, but in array, we can have more than one value at a time. So array is defined as it is a collection of data elements. So how can we define the array? The array is a collection of array is a collection of similar data elements of specific size. Specific size. So all the three elements are contained into this definition. One thing is what? Collection. It contains more than one value. That is a collection. Similar element means if we declare the array as float, then all elements will be the float. We cannot store a string into this array. We cannot store integer into this array. Everything, whatever we are going to, if the array is declared as a float. Number third is very important, is specific size. The size is fixed. Size is fixed before, at the time of declaration. So we have to fix the size at the time of declaration. The three things are very important about array. One thing is array is a collection that can contain more than one value, and similar values we have, homogeneous values we have. And the last thing is we have a fixed size. The size must be defined at the time of declaration. It is not an open-ended array. It is a closed-ended array. Fourth thing is very important. Data in arrays are temporary. Means it has in RAM. If we close the program, then data will be lost. So before leaving the program, we must have to save the values of array into the file in your hard disk. If you do not save the values of the array into the hard disk in a file, then all the data we have into the array is lost. So as a conclusion, array is declared as, the definition of array is a collection of similar data elements of a specific size. Now, what we have to learn in this chapter, the purpose of using array, how to declare the array, how to initialize the array, operation on the array, how to use the array into the computer program. So this is the outline of this presentation. We have to make the few programs regarding the arrays. How can we sort the data into array? How can we insert the data into array? How can we delete the data into array? That operations can be done with the help of programming logics. So at the last stage of this presentation, we will cover the operations on the arrays. But initially, what is the purpose? The purpose of using array is to have more than one value in the memory at a time. So this is the purpose of array. If we have to store only one value at a time, there is no need to declare the array. Simple variable can be used for this purpose. If we want to store more than one value at a time into the memory, then there is a possibility that we should have to declare array, not a single variable. So that is the purpose of using array. And how can we declare the array? How can we initialize the array? So as same as we were defining or declaring a variable, suppose we want to store the height of 30 student into an array, so we should have to declare the array like it float, because height is having fractional values. That is why I am defining it as a float. So that is not necessary that every time we have a float array. We may have an integer array, we may have a character array, we have a other type of data array. Height, so it is, if I put the semicolon here, then it will be treated as a variable, not as an array. If we want to define it as an array, so we should have to write down the size here. So in the square bracket, you have to write down the size how much size you want to fix for this array. So if I declare 30, then I can store the height of 30 students into this array. The height of first student will be stored here. The height of second student will be stored here. The height of the last student will be stored at this location. This is called index. Height of first student at index 0, at index 1, at index 29. So if I declare the size as 30, so it can contains the index from 0 to, this is called index. So what is the purpose of index? Index is basically the process of using the elements of the array. How can I store the data into the first element? So we have to write down this as height 0 is equal to 5.25. Then height of first student is 5.5. Then height of third student is 5.75. And the height of last student is 5 feet. So that is the way to declare the element to declare the array. And this is the process of initializing the individual elements into the array. So that is this process can be done by using index. So location number. The index is what? Index is the location number into the array. 0 means the first student, height of the first student. So if I write down cout like it, cout height 2, then 5.75 will be printed on the screen, because cout height 2, then the second element, third element, this is not the second element, this is the third element, 5.75 will be printed in the screen. If I write down cout height 2 plus 1, then 6.75 will be printed. The height of the third student, and 1 is added into that, then will be printed to the screen. So this is the way of using the elements into the arrays. Individual elements to the arrays can be represented with the help of indexes. These indexes are also known as subscripts. So HT is the name of array, and index 2 means the subscript 2. Index 2 means the subscript 2. Index 1 means the subscript number 1. Subscript number 1 is the location, this location. The 5.5 will be here. 5.25 will be here. If I write down another element here, a height 1 is equal 6, then it will replace the value at 1. So initially we have 5.5 here, but it will cut down and the new value 6 will be stored here at this place. So we can change the values by at any time. The replacing process can be done with the help of arrays. So the syntax of array declaration is how. So you first have to define the data type. Data type, then name of array, square brackets, you cannot use the round brackets here. Then you should have to specify the size and put a semicolon. So what this statement do, this statement will create an array of this name, of this size, of this type into the memory. But that array will be empty. Then you have to initialize the array with the help of either using this statement like individual elements, or you can use loops to declare the different values of the array into memory. So we can use the array looping process can be used for this purpose. So arrays are the collection of the related data items of same data types. So we have as a pole signals or the street light signals, or we have array of canes. Here we have array of cylinders. So arrays must have same type. So same things can be stored into the array. Second thing, it is very important that the program remains the same size, because the execution of the program, we must have to declare the size of the array. Suppose we want to place the 10 signals, so we have to create an array of size 10. If we have to create an array of cans, suppose 1000 cans we have, so we should have to declare a array of size 1000. But you can see a difference among the first picture, second picture, and third picture. The first picture is a linear array in which we have a linear data elements. Second picture, this one is a grid cylinders, and these cylinders is called a two-dimensional arrays because it has rows as well as it has columns. So row number one, column number one, it is called two-dimensional array. And here we have a multiple two-dimensional array because it is basically a three-dimensional. Why? Because it has three subscript. The floor number one, floor number two, the floor number three, the row number one, the column number one and two. So row number, column number, floor number. So three elements are needed here. Two elements are needed here. It is called two-dimensional arrays. It is called a linear array. The three types of array are declared and demonstrated in this presentation, in this slide. It is called linear array because it has in vertical line only. It has a two-dimensional array because it is row and columns. Here it is called three-dimensional array because row number, the floor number, and the column number. So three elements are needed to declare it. But the two-dimensional and three-dimensional are not covered in this presentation. In the next presentation, in the next video, we will cover the two-dimensional and three-dimensional array. In this presentation, we have a linear array only, which is called one-dimensional array. Now, the group of consecutive memory locations, that is very important. The data elements stored into the memory on the consecutive positions. And that is not possible into the array that the one element is kept into the memory here, and the second element is kept into the memory here, the third element is kept into the memory here. So that is not a way. If I declare an array, all elements of the array are contiguous. Contiguous means they contains at the adjacent memory location. So C0, suppose the C0 is at this place. This is C0. Then C1 will be adjacent to this one, and the C2 will be adjacent to this one, and so on. So all the array elements will be adjacent. That is very important in the memory. It is not possible that we have one element of array here in the memory, the another element of array is stored here in the memory. Third, this is not the case in the array. In the array, all elements are contiguous. Contiguous means consecutive memory location. That is very important. The fifth point is very important. You should include in the definition of array the fifth point. The array elements are contiguous in memory. In the memory, all elements should be at the same contiguous or consecutive memory locations. To refer an element into the to refer an individual element, we should have to specify the position number. Position number, how the position number is stored. Suppose I am interested in defining the C5 and we want to store C5 as 30. So now in the sixth element, C5 means the sixth element because its subscript starts from 0. C0, C1, C2, C5 means the sixth element. 30 will be stored into the sixth element of the array. So how can you declare the position? Array name, square bracket, and position number. Position number start from 0 and goes up to n minus 1. C0, C1, Cn minus 1. If the size of array is n, then the indexes are from 0 to n minus 1. This is called index or subscript. This is called index or subscript. So this is important. Index or subscript. So subscript starts in C language from 0, not from 1. In some other languages it starts from 1 to 30, but in C language it starts by default. It starts from 0 to 30, and we cannot change the serial number of the indexes. Indexes are automatically created by the compiler. We cannot change or alter these indexes. So this array is declared, and you can see the position numbers and the values and the size of this array. Size of this array is 12 because it starts from 0 and goes up to 11. The size of array is 12. C0 contains minus 45, C1 contains 6, C2 contains C11. So C11 is basically the 12th element. So if we want to specify the 12th element as 78, so this is C11. C11 contains the 12th element into of this array. So that is the position number or the index. We use position number or the index number to define the individual elements of the array. An array is an ordered list of values. Each value has a numeric index. So numeric index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 9. And these indexes, this is my data. This is not index. 79, 87, 94, 91. These are not indexes. These are the data elements. Indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 9. So the size of this array, C array, is 10. Indexes start from 0, goes up to n minus 1. And in this case, it has 10 elements. The indexes start from 0, goes up to 9. Now, this is the 3 different statements. Array elements like a normal variable, C0 is equal to 3. The first element is initialized as 3. C0 is equal to 3, the assignment statement. On the position number 0 in the array C, 3 will be stored. C in n% C1, m% is used to specify the location. This m% is used before that. So C in and C1. The first element is inputted by the user. So what is the purpose of this line? The purpose of this line is to initialize the first element by the user input. The user has to input some number, and that number will be stored into the first position. Then C out, C0 and C1, the 2 elements. C0 contains 3 and C1 was inputted by the user. The 2 numbers will be displayed on the screen. We can have expression within the subscript. We can write down the expression as this. The position number inside the square bracket is called subscript or index. This is index. And if I declare as C5 minus 2, this is C3. 5 minus 2 means 3. C3 is equal to 7 means this is like this. The fourth element will be initialized as 7. This is C3. C3 is the 4th element, not the 3rd element. Now defining the array. How can we define the array? You have to specify the name of the array, the data type of the array, the number of elements in the array. So this is the format. By this format, you can declare an array. What is the format? You have to specify the data type. After defining the data type, you have to specify the array name. Array name, after the array name, we have to specify the number of elements. Number of element means the size, and then a semicolon. This complete statement is called array declaration. So how can array declared? This is the integer students 10. So a variable array students is declared. How much element this contains? 10. What is the type of the every student? Is integer, int. 10 means subscript indexes start from 0 to 9. Float my array 3284. 3284 means 3284 elements can be stored into my array. So int b 100 elements can be stored. So these are all declarations. The declaration means the size is fixed, the name is fixed, and the type is fixed. At the declaration, we are basically specifying the type, the name, and the size. Then we can specify array by initialization. Integer n5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a new statement for you. So if we want to store the data into the array at the time of declaration, we can do both at a time. So this is called declare plus initialize. What this is indicating, n5, size 5. N is the array. Its size 5. First element, second element, third element, fourth element, and fifth element. The index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what this is indicating, assignment. 1 will be assigned here, 2 will be assigned here, 3 will be assigned here, 4 will be assigned here, 5 will be assigned here. So this is the assignments, initialization. So we have to specify the values by square bracket. The values by square bracket, we can have in the square bracket as many numbers as it is needed, 5. So we should have 5 numbers here. If we have a more than 5 numbers here, this will cause an error because array size is 5. We should have 5 or less values here. Int n5, 0, initialize all elements to 0. This is what this does. All elements will be 0. n5, 0. At the time of declaration, array has no bound checking. If size is omitted, initialize int n bracket, open bracket without size. So automatically the size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be constructed. So all these are allowed. These all are allowed into the array. We can have declaration and assignment both in one line, as we have in the case of variable. Int x, and we have x is equal to 5. By the both at a time, we can write down int x equal 5. So it is declaration, it is assignment or initialization. So here we have both declaration and initialization at a time. So as well as in array, we can do the declaration and assignment at a time. We can keep array unbounded, but if the size is there 5, so automatically the size 5 will be declared in this case. So this slide is very important slide. It has multiple options here. Achha, in this slide, we can declare and initialize the data at a time. So we have created integer array of size 5, and the 5 elements are initialized at the time of declaration. So initialization and declaration both can be done at one line, as we did in the case of variable. Integer y, a variable is declared, and y is equal to 0, the variable y is initialized. But we can write down both in one line, integer y is equal to 0. This is called declaration and initialization. This can also be done in an array. In the array, we can do this by type of array, the name of array is n, the size of array is 5. Now we must have to write down the square. We must have to write down the braces here. We cannot change the bracket here. Like we cannot use the round bracket. We cannot use the square bracket. These are not allowed at this place. So here only the braces are allowed. We have to specify as many values as we are here. But we can, if we declare more than 5 values here, then this will cause an error because size is shorted. But if we write down n5 as 0, then all elements of n will be initialized to the 0. And if I omit the size and the values are there, so automatically the size 5 will be, that is, there will be no error in this case. Automatically the size will be declared as 5. So in this case, we can have initialize the values to the array n. But if we have to keep the values of the array different and want to input by the user, so we should have to write down this program structure like it: int n5, this is declaration. Then we have to write down the scene and n0, then cin and ampersand. You must have to place an ampersand here, n1 and so on, cin and 4, because the size is 5, index will be 0 to 4. This can be done with the help of a loop. So you should have to write down a loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 plus I. And you should have to write down one C in here, C in ampersand n and I. If the value of I is 0, then this will be take an input into the n0. If the value of I is 1, it will take an input in 1, n1 and so on. So this will run 5 elements. So this will ask the user to input the data for the 5 elements, and that 5 data elements will be stored into the memory at the 5 locations, which are controlled by the indexes. So this is the end of this video. In this video, we have covered how the arrays are declared, how the arrays are initialized, how the array are used into the memory. We can do the declaration and assignment both at one line. How can we use the array into the loop? So this is the first segment of this chapter array. In the next chapter, in the next video, we will record few elements of array, like how can we search the data into the array, how can we sort the data into the array, how can we insert an element into the array, how can we delete the array. This is called array operations. The array operation will be defined into the next video that we will cover in the next time. Thank you very much for this video. Allah Hafiz.